Day 14 in prayers and fasting. On the 14th day, the Lord took me to see the tortures of hell. The Lord said, I want you to see this. Suddenly I saw millions of people who fell into hell. There was a tall man. He was muscular and he arrived in hell the same way he was on earth. He arrived with his normal body. Suddenly a monster appeared in the air and began to approach him. The monster began to touch his chest with his fingers. The nails on that fingers were like iron and he started to write on his chest. That man screamed. Then he started to be consumed inside. Suddenly I saw his skin started to cling to his bones. I saw how pieces of meat fell to the ground. I saw how the flame suddenly started to come out from his stomach. I thought I was going to see the organs inside, but what I saw was his skeleton. Smoke was moving inside him. I asked, Lord, what is this smoke coming from inside the body of this man? The Lord told me, it is his soul. What is moving is his soul, and the one that is outside is his body of sin. Just as I was resurrected with a glorified body from the tomb, so I gave him a body of sin. He feels pain in that body with his 5 senses. That man screamed in a lot of torment. The demon's finger finished writing, so I looked in his chest. It was written, I am here for fornicating. He was also branded like a cattle. The skin of that man was marked, and then the demons touched something else on his chest. I looked and saw a sign against his skin that had the number 666. When I saw this sign on his chest, I asked, Lord, this is the number you spoke to me. The Lord told me, this is the number of death. This number is from this place. This place identifies itself by this number. Satan identifies himself by this number on earth. He is already working on the men who followed this number. I said to the Lord, in the Word, it says that the number is marked on the hand and on the forehead. But this man is receiving the number on his chest. The Lord said, the chest is where the heart is. This mark on the earth will literally be on the forehead and on the right hand. This will be the seal of the heart, as it is from their hearts they first accept the number of death. Rev 13:16 And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand, or in their foreheads. We went to another gallery and I saw how the demons tortured people. There were people trampling on others. There were some who beat each other. The Lord said, those there were families, and as they lived on earth as a family, so here in hell they continue as a family. Suddenly a woman screamed a lot and her fingers started to touch her skin. Pieces of flesh and hair fell. Her head went bald. She screamed. She didn't have her eyes. The Lord said, she doesn't have her eyes, but she can see from her spiritual body. Her body was degraded and it was written on her chest, I'm here for being a prostitute. Each person was marked by their sins. I asked, Lord, why are their sins written? The Lord said to me, this was the sin that they practiced most on earth. This sin marked them on the earth. As sins are represented in this place, each one bears the name of his sin. Similarly in my kingdom, each saint will have a name that I will give. It is a name that my Father has for you. It is a new name, son, and you will not have the name of sin because I cleaned it with my blood. 15th day. On the 15th day when we returned to this place, the Lord said to me, I want you to know how a soul comes to this place of torment. Suddenly we left this place and came to a big highway and we saw a car. I asked, Lord, why are we here? The Lord told me, you will know what happens when death comes literally in the world. Death arrives but men ignore it. You will see when death knocks on the door. Suddenly I saw a small car traveling at high speed. I saw a truck coming behind that small car. Another car came out on the road and caused that small car to collide against the truck. That small car crashed hard against the truck. A woman was thrown through the glass and fell forward. The driver died crushed on the steering wheel. The other man left the back of the car. The man of the truck was thrown out, and when the truck came back it ran over him. I saw how the dead stopped and looked at their bodies there and looked at their souls. They did not understand what was happening. That woman started to look at herself and she touched herself. The man in the truck also got up and started walking. The boy who died there saw his crushed body and said, how it is that my body is there while I am here. They started calling people but no one heard them. The woman started calling people and no one came to her. The boy who was in the back of the car got up surprised, said, now I understand what my aunt was saying. She was telling my family about death. They taught me this is death. My aunt and my family told me about it. They didn't know they were on the other side in the spiritual world, and there was immense darkness behind them. Inside that black cloud was a burst of laughter that kept laughing again and again. They felt the terror and dread. When they were going to run, 4 horrendous figures appeared. A red horrible demon said to them, "Come with us. We have to go to the place where you will live from now on. We accompanied you all your life. We made you believe that pleasure and love for the world were good. We made you believe that money was everything. We let you live in greatness. Now we go to hell." One of them said, "You lie. Who are you? Hell doesn't exist and you are telling lies." That demon laughed and said, "Of course there is hell. Now you will see for yourselves." The demons ran at a great speed and caught them when they tried running. They were chained by their feet and hands, and the demons started to descend into the darkness, and they screamed. Jesus appeared in that place where that woman and those other men fell. They started screaming. Each of them was taken and given the titles: fornicators, prostitutes, adulterers. The demons started to hit the woman and the men. The Lord Jesus told me, they lived in orgies and practiced sexual immorality all their days. In this place, they will remember the evil in their hearts. They let their lives go into the life of pleasure. Desecration came to their hearts, and now they will be there forever. I came as a woman began to be tortured. They took her to another place where they suddenly tortured her. I saw when the man from the truck was walking and the demons grabbed him. That man was confused and said, "Why are you doing this?" He screamed, and suddenly a monster came and put a sign on him saying, "I am here for self-righteousness." When I saw the sign, I asked, "Lord, what is this man's sin?" The Lord told me, his sin is the sin of conformity. He believed because he was good he could go to my kingdom. He believed that only because he was good did he have a place in heaven. He is a good man. He had no addictions. He loved his family. I called him many times but he didn't obey me. I called him by name but he ignored me. He didn't believe me. There was no place in his life for me, although everything was from God. He said that just for doing good on earth he will be in heaven, but now he is here and here will be his torment. All his life he gave lip service to my word, and he cannot accept that now he is here. That man shouted, "Please Lord, I want you to speak to me." The Lord Jesus took me back to that place where I was fasting. The Lord showed me a vision and revealed a woman to me. This woman was taken by the demons. That woman was dry and her skin was clinging to her bones. They put her in a pit and chained her feet. That woman screamed. I saw the sign 666 and beneath it was written, "I am here for being a witch." I said, "Lord, this woman was a witch." The Lord said, "Yes, son, this woman did much evil on earth. Satan deceived her in many ways and made her believe that I was with her. Satan made her believe that it was me that gave her strength. He made her believe that I was in agreement with what she did. She loved the images on earth. She did all kinds of evil, and this woman is here now. She offered to the demons thinking that she was offering to me. In this place, there were many people asking for help as they were tormented and screaming, and the demons laughed. The Lord told me, "I want you to know the land has so much idolatry, son." At that moment Jesus took me to 5 mountains and said to me, "Tonight I will take you to the land of Hades. In this land, everything is evil." I saw all kinds of demons within images. In other images, demons were coming out. The Lord told me, behind every image, there is a demon, and the people don't understand this. Son, this country of Hades is in misery. This country lives in misery. I will bring judgment on this nation. The Lord took me to Ecuador, and the Lord showed me a place where the men were doing idolatry. The demons walked among them and they didn't see them. It was horrendous. Everyone who was there was possessed of demons. In that place, they were lighting candles for the images. He took me to Bolivia and he told me, "Here there is also idolatry, the symbol of evil. Evil is in the government and is everywhere." He said, "Come on, let's go somewhere else." He brought me to Venezuela and took me to a place and told me, "I want you to see what's going to happen in a place they won't know we're here." We came to a grave. It looked like hell. We were up in the air and we came into the grave and there was an altar in a flame. There was a stone bed all bloody. 16 people went in there, and finally, a woman with a black hooded cloak came in with a child. The girl was crying a lot, a little baby of a few innocent months. They brought her and put her on top of that table. In front of that table was a flame and I heard laughter. A shadow appeared behind that flame and said, "Start the sacrifice." Suddenly the man who had a red cape and a black belt started raping that baby. I started to cry and I told the Lord, "Why is this happening?" The Lord told me, "Son, I know that the body hurts. I know the pain in the body, but what gives me the most joy is when the soul of a child or a man comes to my kingdom." I saw how that baby was crying in pain as the man raped the baby and the baby died. I saw when at that moment that man took a dagger and stuck it in the baby's chest and made a cross opening and put his hand inside that opening and took her heart out. A figure came out of that girl and stopped in front of us. She was very beautiful and she looked at the Lord with joy. The Lord approached her and gave a kiss on the girl's face. 2 angels appeared in that place and the girl started to go up with the angels. The Lord said to me, "She will live with me forever in my kingdom." I saw that they offered the body of that girl to demons. All kinds of demons appeared and they started to utter curses against God. Day 14 in prayer.